Those old enough to remember the golden era of arcades in the late 70s and early 80s will instantly recognize this gem, as should anyone who claims to be a shmup expert. Robotron 2084 was the hectic precursor to the bullet hell craze of the 90s, and the title that popularized multi-directional shooting. Robotron has resurfaced many times on modern gaming platforms in the form of midway compilations, hidden Easter eggs, and cheap downloadables, but never before has it appeared on the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Not surprising, as the console was infamous for sprite flicker and slowdown, both of which would be detrimental to recreating the insane onslaught of enemies and projectiles the game requires. But love finds a way. An impassioned indie homebrewer, Sole Goose Productions, has developed a solid clone with his project, Spook-O-Tron. Spook-O-Tron is everything you love about Robotron. It's the same exhilaratingly difficult gameplay. Players must contend with enemies on all fronts while scrambling to rescue civilians and navigate lethal barriers. The concept is deceptively simple: destroy all adversaries. But it takes an incredible amount of skill to track all on-screen dangers while simultaneously moving and shooting in independent directions. And the player will need quick reflexes to adapt their tactics to match the enemy AI. Not to mention nerves of steel, as they fight wave after wave of baddies and 100 unique levels of unrelenting torture. Spook-O-Tron was born from the developer's desire to experiment overloading the NES with as many sprites as possible. Consequently, there are a ton of enemies in the game to battle, each with their own attack style and movement pattern, some of which appear to be inspired from other classic games. I recognize Mario-esque ghosts that follow the player when the hero is not facing them, and werewolves that behave a lot like Zelda snakes, walking a path until crossing an axis with the hero, at which point they charge. And of course, because this is a shoot-'em-up, many enemies fire projectiles. So many projectiles. So many deaths. Many countless, innumerable, agonizing deaths. Robotron was originally designed to be played with twin joysticks. The control scheme is crucial to supporting Robotron's defining gameplay quirk: the ability to move in one direction while shooting in another. This isn't a problem when the game is ported to home consoles with a directional pad and at least 4 face buttons, something the NES pad is sorely missing. Sole Goose cleverly solves this hardware limitation 3 different ways. Spook-O-Tron is designed to be played using 2 controllers held vertically. This is surprisingly comfortable, but for anyone who finds Wii-style nunchucking awkward, the game also supports an SNES controller and, oddly enough, a Virtual Boy pad. For anyone watching this video before April 16th, 2017, Spook-O-Tron is currently available for pre-order through an already fully funded Kickstarter project. You can find a direct link to that in the description below. Those of you who follow the NES homebrewing scene should recognize more than a few familiar names in the project's credits. Kevin Handley of K-Han Games provides the game's catchy soundtrack, and Chris Kakatour lends his talents to the adorable sprite work. And those who really aren't that into the NES but think that this project looks awesome anyway will be happy to know that it's also available for PC. Basically, you have 0 excuses not to check this project out, unless you just hate shooters, in which case, what's wrong with you?